All right, sorry for the slight delay. We had a few technical difficulties, but welcome to this Seagal webinar on the Blueback Unconventional Toolbox. My name is Renee Peterson, and I am Technical Sales Manager in North America, and I am located in our Houston office. During these times of working from home, Seagal is running a series of webinars on our different business segments. This presentation will take about 30 minutes, and first I'll give a short PowerPoint introduction, and then we'll have a live demonstration of the main tool in the unconventional toolbox. The webinar will be recorded, and a link to the recording will be sent out to attendees within 24 hours and will also be available on our YouTube channel. If you have questions during the presentation, please submit them using the GoToMeeting chat, and we will follow up after the session via email. For those of you who don't know Seagal, I'll give a short introduction to Seagal. Seagal was founded in 2000 as a IT services and cloud provider. And over the last 20 years, Seagal has evolved into a specialist in software and cloud solutions for oil and gas. Seagal has grown organically and also through M&A. And I joined Seagal when Seagal acquired Blueback Reservoir in 2014. And Blueback Reservoir is also the origin of our E&P subsurface software. We have offices in all the major oil hubs around the world, and the Seagal headquarters is located in Stavanger in Norway. The latest Seagal expansion was the opening of our KL office last year. Seagal has three main business segments. The GeoCloud is our biggest segment, and in this period where we are all working from home, our GeoCloud solution is proving its worth, enabling our clients to log on to the GeoCloud from home and have the same performance and data connectivity as if they were working from the office. In our consulting segment, we have groups of specialized IT consultants, data managers, and a large group of geoscientists that assist our clients in many different areas. The last segment is our software products, where the main product line is our Blueback plugins for Petrel. And now we're going to have a look at one of those plugins, the Unconventional Toolbox for Petrel. This toolbox is the newest toolbox in our toolbox suite. It was released September last year, and as with the classical toolboxes, the tools in the unconventional toolbox are based on client requests. It has small to medium-sized tools that will enhance your existing Petrel workflows. The main focus of this toolbox is to provide improved ergonomics when working with lots of wells. The unconventional toolbox has 10 tools. The well data viewer is the most significant tool in this toolbox, and this is also the tool that I'll be demonstrating live in a few minutes after this PowerPoint intro. And now I'll give you a short one-slide introduction to all of the tools before we go to the live demo. So as I said, the well data viewer is the largest tool in this toolbox, and it's a tool that gives you access to well data from one common user interface. The well data is organized in data tabs, and the tabs that we have in this first version are well header data, deviation data, time depth relationship data, well logs, well tops, production data, and global well logs. And in future releases, you will see that we'll be adding tabs for more data types. This tool is useful in any situation where you have many wells, being conventional or unconventional. The automated tops grider is a tool that interactively grids a 2D surface of well tops as you pick the well tops in the well section window, providing instant QC and structural information about the horizon that you're picking. The Quick Mapper is a tool that quickly calculates log averages per zone and populates those averages out in 2D maps, providing fast lateral screening of properties. The log normalization tool is a tool that enables you to easy normalize well logs either with custom min and max ranges or ranges defined by known input wells. The tool has various before and after QC plots. With the landing zone analysis tool, you can do analysis of zone penetration length per well per operator and go in and see how well you or your competitors are at drilling horizontal wells in the target zone. When you have geology with erosion or non-deposition, you will have wells where certain well tops are missing in the stratigraphic column. In Petrel, it is useful to have those missing tops present as collapsed tops, and the Add Missing Tops is a tool that automatically will add these missing tops as collapsed tops. Set Intersection Well is a small tool that enables you to select the well for display in an intersection window by simply clicking on the specific well in a Petrel 2D or 3D window. The Global Well Log Manager enables you to merge a set of Petrel global well logs into a new common global well log. This tool works across Petrel templates and will generate a new global well log object in your input window. The Rename tool enables automatic renaming of several objects in Petrel at the same time. It also has name pattern recognition and easy renaming of those name patterns. And finally, all our toolboxes comes with a Python tool that allows you to run advanced Python scripting inside of Petrel. And now it is time for a live demo of the Well Data Viewer in Petrel. So I will go to Petrel. So here you see my project. This project has more than 4,000 wells. So to open the Well Data Viewer, I right-click here on the Petrel's Wells folder and click on Well Data Viewer. And now the tool will open for all the wells in this project. And in a second, you will see the user interface. Here you see it. Let me just make it a little bigger. So the main elements here are the well list where you have all the wells in the project. We have the active well label. We have the different data tabs. And then for each data tab, you have a data viewing area. And here on top, we have a set of, we have a toolbar with a set of tools that does different things. We'll cover all of these elements. So the well list, you have here all the wells in the project, and down here at the bottom you have a little summary. So we have 4,366 wells in this project. One is highlighted. We have different highlighting mechanisms in the different tabs. We have the well name, UWI, color and symbol, and we can sort on each of these columns. So here we have the different data tabs, and you can see as I click through these data tabs, we have very easy access to those different data types. So now we'll go over the different tabs one by one. So we'll start by the header tab. So here you can see, you probably recognize this information. That is the information from the well, the Petrel well settings, and we can access those Petrel well settings for the active well by this shortcut that will open the settings for the active well. So this, in this case, is well number 1. And you recognize that we have extracted this piece of information into the wellheader tab. And on top of that, we've extracted some well attributes. We have the operator, we have total depth, spot date, and let's just go down to my demo well 65. So you can see we've also extracted the comments section of this active well. So now you saw I changed the active well to well number 65. Over here on the right hand side, we have a base map with all the locations of all the wells, and you can see as I change the active well, the active well is highlighted in orange in the map. We can do highlighting. So we can, as I said, we have different automatic highlighting mechanisms, but we can also highlight wells manually. So you can see now I've got 6 highlighted wells, and those wells are also highlighted here in the base map. I can also go from a base map to the well list. So let's just try, let's display some Petrel polygons of active leases, zoom in on a lease, and we want to know what are the wells inside of this lease. So I use this filter, it highlights these wells. We have 20 wells, and those 20 wells has been highlighted out here in my list. They're distributed all over the list. So I can hit this button here that will bring all of these 20 highlighted wells to the top of my list. So I can just run this little trick here to go back to my original. So we can go to deviation, and let me scroll down to a horizontal well. This one, for example. So in the deviation data tab, we extract the deviation survey, and we give you a base map view of the well trajectory as well as an intersection view of the well. Just a little preview of the intersection. If the well has more than one survey, you can access those. It will automatically display the primary survey, but you can go in and do exploration of all the surveys. Here at the bottom, if the well has inclination higher than what you specify over here by default, the heel kickoff inclination is 80 degrees. So when we have inclination higher than 80 degrees, we calculate the horizontal length from the heel to the toe, and you can go in and see straight or measured depth. In the time depth relationship tab, we have, as it says, time depth relationship information. This well does not have any. So we have a shortcut. We can, for example, go in and highlight all wells with check shots. So in this case, that gives me 662 wells. And just to show you, the base map that sits in the header tab is very useful in other data tabs. So if you want to make use of that header base map, you can pop that base map out. It just shows here on my other screen. So that base map pops out as a floating window, and here we have the 661 wells highlighted in the base map as well. Let me just scroll up to my well 65, and we'll have a closer look at that. So what this tab is doing, it is identifying the active one-way time log that is generated when you specify your time depth relationship in the Petrel wells folder settings. So it goes in, identify this active one-way time log, and then it goes in to the history of this log and identifies the source data for this TDR time depth relationship log. In this case, it is a checkshot data set, and we extract the spreadsheet with the depth, the times, and the velocities. We give you the average velocity track, interval velocity track, and one-way time. We can display well tops if we want to, like this. If the well has other TDR sources, we can go in and explore those. So in this case, this well has some well tops with some associated two-way times. So we extract those and we actually calculate the average and interval velocities for you. And again, we display those in the tracks. And the same goes for a two-way time log here. And we calculate again the average and interval velocity for you. Next tab is the well logs tab. So here in the well logs tab, you see we have three sub tabs. So the first tab is single log analysis. We get a list of all the logs that are present in the active well, like this. So we can go in and explore the different logs. So when you click on the different log, you get the log track displayed over here, and you get the spreadsheet, measure depth and values for the specific log. And here again, we can, if we want to, display well tops like this. And we can also, let's just say we want to know all the wells that has a specific log. We can highlight this log or select this log and highlight all the wells with the selected log. So in this case, that is 401 wells out of the 4,000 and something wells that has this quick porosity log. And we can also go in and do a simple comparison of the active log between wells. So we can highlight some of these wells and use this compare wells button that will bring up a simple well section window with the wells that we highlighted and the specific log that we were examining. Well tops tab. In the well tops tab, again, you see it's well 65 that is active. The well tops tab goes in and gives you all the well tops sets or well tops folder that are present for the active well. So in this case, we have three well top sets: missing well tops UC, and well tops 1. And here we also extract the well tops spreadsheet and the zones spreadsheet. And we can also again go in and do some well highlighting. So for example, we can highlight two tops in a well top set and identify all the wells that has these two well tops present. And that is 1,434 wells. We can go to the production data tab, and here again we have a highlight wells for production. So this in this first version we are looking, so production, we're looking at observed data sets. So this operation here will highlight all the wells that has observed data sets. So we can bring those to the top of my list. We can select well number 100. You can see this well has actually 2 observed data sets, so we'll just look at one of them. So we're bringing up the production spreadsheet with all the information. So you can go in and check and explore all that information. And from this information, we are extracting gas, oil, and water instantaneously or daily production, and cumulative production as well. And again, as we could with the well logs tab, here we can go in and do a simple comparison between wells. So we can highlight a set of wells and hit the compare wells button. I need to specify a oil equivalent factor for the gas, and I can here's display values, and this is a simple comparison of the cumulative oil, water, and gas production for these 4 wells. The last data tab is global well logs. You can see that the global well logs tab sits out here to the right by itself, because that data viewing approach is quite different for this tab than for these existing tabs. So all of these tabs we've been going through right now looks at the data for the active well. So it only looks at data for this particular well. Whereas when we go to the global well logs tab, this tab will look at all the global well logs for the wells in the whole project. So here you see we have different columns. We have global well log name, so we can sort on global well log name, for example. We can sort on the template. I kind of like this. Then we get all our different property templates aligned. We have units. We can also sort on those, min, max values, delta, and well count. So again, the well count shows you how many wells has the particular global well log. And here again, we can do a little bit more sophisticated highlighting of wells based on a log collection. So for example, if I want to know all the wells that has gamma ray SL, gamma ray SLE, and gamma ray Vint, I can go and highlight or select those global well logs and highlight all the wells that has all of these 3 logs present. So that is 566 wells. I can also do an OR that will give me all the wells that has any of these 3 logs. So in this case, that is going to be 2,237 wells. We have also added a interval filter. So let me just go and search for all the wells that has a VP and VS log, and that is 127 wells in total. But I would also like to know if these logs are present in my reservoir interval, for example. So I can go in and set an interval by it. So this interval is in this release is set by 2D surfaces. So I can go in and specify my top and my base, and then again run this search, and now you will see that we're down to 61 wells. So while we're in this tab, we can quickly go over some of the tools. So you see we have 61 wells highlighted. Bring those to the top on my list. Let me close all of these windows here. I have them in the background. So all the highlighted wells, we can open those in a 2D Petrel 2D window. So you see here now we have those 61 wells in a 2D window or in a 3D window like this. I can go in and just we'll go in and highlight a little less wells, and then I can go in and display those wells and the highlighted logs or selected logs directly into a well section window like this. We can, for example, also go the other way from a Petrel window and set the active well by using this link. So when I activate this link, I can go in and click on a well in the Petrel window, and that will set that well active. So you see now the active well is 543, but it's not viewed, it's not here in the list. So we can hit this guy here, and that will scroll to the active well to the top of the list. So it'll just do that for another well. So well 573, scroll that to the top of the list, for example. So that was just a few of the buttons operations. So you've seen that we can do some well highlighting, some well filtering, some relatively simple well filtering highlighting based on well content, data content. We also have a more sophisticated filter button here that opens up all the well attributes that allows you to filter on the wells on well attributes. So here you see this filter menu. We've added a option to filter within the polygon, and we also added in addition to all the well attributes, the ability to filter on number of points in the deviation survey. So for example, you could quickly go in and identify all the wells that just have 2 points, all the wells that has just quickly been added by a header point and a total depth point, for example. So let me just go in and make a simple filter. I want to see all the horizontal wells for a specific operator. So here I will go in and sort on an operator, Ewing Oil, hit OK. So now you see all the wells for Ewing Oil. They have 924 wells in this project. But now we want to see only the horizontal wells. So I'll go in and add a filter on inclination. And I want to filter on inclination greater than 80 degrees. Like this, and now we're down to 88 wells, and when I hit OK here, the well list is filtered down to those 88 wells, and now we can do data exploration of these 88 wells. We have the ability to save well subsets, so let me go in, highlight all these wells, and I can go in and save this as a well subset. I will call that Ewing oil horizontal wells, like this. And this well subset is saved out here in a subfolder under the wells folder. You see I've got quite a few, and let's just have a look. So we can do some simple things with this. This is a relatively simple feature that we've added. So let me open a new window here. So we can go in, I can right click and display all the wells in the active window. If I double click here on the well subset, you can go in and see what wells we have in the well subset. I can also right click and convert to points. That gives us the ability to generate a Petrel point set at the top of the base of vertical wells, or at the heel, the mid, or the toe of horizontal wells, and in this case we'll generate it at the toe. So here you see the Petrel point set. It opens up the settings automatically, so I can go in and turn on annotations, and I can go down and just toggle on the name of the well subset, and that gives you like an additional alternative way of labeling wells in Petrel windows by a Petrel point set. And finally, these well subsets can also be used in the other tools, in some of the other tools in the unconventional toolbox. So here you see a list of the rest of the tools, and you see in this well selection box, I can go in and select wells using these well subsets. So if you have made a well subset based on data content in the well data viewer, this well subset can be used as well input in some of the other tools in the well data viewer. So you see that well data browsing in Petrel becomes quite a lot easier with the well data viewer, and that same approach is also what we have taken with some of the other tools. It is making something you can do in Petrel that is very tedious, that goes in and makes that very easy with tools in the unconventional toolbox. And now I will return to my PowerPoint. If you have submitted questions in the chat window during the presentation, we will answer those by email. You can also submit questions after the presentation to this email address, webinar@seagal.com. And as I said in the beginning of the presentation, an email with a link to a recording of this webinar will be sent out by email within 24 hours. And by that, I will say thank you for watching and have a nice day.